Hey folks, welcome back to Game Geeks. I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Today's episode, we are talking about Fear Itself, 2nd Edition. Fear Itself is one of those games that I had intended to review for quite a while, and I can't remember if I ever got around to it, and that means I was too lazy to look it up on the master list to see if I'd done it yet or not. But the 2nd Edition is worth a lot of discussion in and of itself. Right off the bat, this is a GUMSHOE game. GUMSHOE is a system that we've reviewed a couple products in before. It operates a little differently than most because it is focused primarily on investigation. Rather than making rolls for investigation, you automatically find the core clues that you need, and then you can spend from your investigation pool or your skill pools on finding more and deeper clues. Those are your investigative abilities, which make up the majority of the character sheet. Your non-investigative abilities, called general skills, are ranged in a slightly higher set of numbers because you use these as a pool of points when you make rolls. So you're shooting someone, you want to make sure it happens, you add points from your shooting pool to see that it happens. Okay, what separates Fear Itself from some of the other GUMSHOE games? What are the other GUMSHOE games? Good question. Sorry I didn't mention it before. They include Trail of Cthulhu, Esoterrorists, Ashen Stars, and the Night's Black Agents. Some of these I think work better than others. Personally, I'm quite a fan of Ashen Stars. I think it's a fantastic setting. Still having a little bit of trouble figuring out how to teach my players how to do it, but I think as a setting goes, it's phenomenal. I like Fear Itself. I like Esoterrorists a lot. What you get with Fear Itself is this is horror movie role-playing. Horror movie in that you assume that the majority, if not all of the protagonists, are not going to walk out at the end of this adventure alive. This is a high mortality game. There are a variety of ways that you can set up how to run campaigns in this game. There's one-shot adventures, which is a one evening of play where there is a single horrific mystery that you have to figure out. There's a good example of an adventure in here for that. It's called The Circle. I always get a little skeezy when I describe adventures in a game, so everybody tune out for a second if you're going to play this. In The Circle, what's happening is you're a group of people that are bound together because you are all part of the same drug test. One of the people involved in this drug test died, but had enough psychic juju going on that he has building his consciousness back together by assembling all of the other people who were part of the drug trial and are going to be embodying into one of them. Now, the mini-series approach is for anywhere probably between 3 and 5 episodes, maybe more, depending on how long your characters want to play. Here, the fatality is less immediately high because you have to have enough players for continuity to build in more of the mystery of it. Honestly, I think this is the sweet spot for play in this game, is a mini-series or a short campaign. The example given in this is Glass Beach Summer, where Glass Beach is sort of a coastal town where there's an event, a big storm, and people start developing powers. You start developing psychic powers in here. The downside to that is you are now seeing monsters that are in the town, and the ultimate ending is the monsters are the people who went through this transformation earlier in the setting. Finally, there's a full campaign mode where you're essentially playing for an indefinite or at least a very long period of time. And this is called The Dispatchers, which is a pirate radio station which is describing supernatural events or people being attacked by supernatural things that the players go and investigate. And you don't really know who's behind the dispatch, you don't know what's doing it, it's just a pirate radio station that you listen to and you go and do things. It's got kind of a cult following and an internet following as well. The monsters in this are pretty damn horrific. They borrow from the Book of Unrelenting Horror for the Esoterrorists, which it's a lot of body horror, to be honest with you, but it is some damn creepy stuff that is very, very different from your vampires, werewolves, zombies, and ghouls. It's not quite Lovecraftian, though. If I had to put a finger on it, I'd say it's somewhere between Hellraiser and Event Horizon in terms of the monstrosities that you're dealing with. I like Fear Itself a lot. I think this is an ideal teaching tool for the GUMSHOE system. The number of skills is pared down considerably from larger games such as Night's Black Agents or Ashen Stars, and it's well worth a look if you're interested in a horror game that is slightly different. For Game Geeks, I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Good day and good gaming.